Alright. Tiny bit behind schedule. But that's not gonna stop us from starting the Big Brain Bouts number 48. I'm gonna let them know I am ready when you are. As always, per usual, on the Friday night, we have 4 best of 5s ready for you guys. They should all be close. They should all be competitive. Both of the nerds are ready for round 1. So we're just gonna go ahead and hop on into it. Hecate will be the opening battleground for a $75 series. 60 bucks for the winner, 15 for the loser. All of this is brought to you by Basilisk. I am still recovering from that 27-minute game that I just had. I had no idea it was even that long. I knew it was like 20 minutes or so, but I didn't think it was 27. I don't know what just happened, guys. What I did know is that I think that was a good way to kick the Friday night off. We had a fun afternoon with a couple of series in the Masters Coliseum. And now we're gonna have first some community StarCraft and then some the big boys play. Let's do it.
Let's get it on.
Round 1. Fight!
In the bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of an American Protoss player with a Korean nick. His nickname means the word immortal in Korean. He is a die-hard StarCraft fan. You guys have probably seen him in a lot of streams. And I really thought he has already played in the Big Brain Bouts. But I was just thinking of the community rumble. So when I realized that he had never played before, I was like, what the hell? It is absolutely time. A 5000 MMR Protoss bully, as we call him. I'm not going to go for the Korean pronunciation of Bulmyeolja, because I can't do that. But we all call him Bully. And that is the way that he also tells you to call him if you meet him in real life. In the top right side, for the second time ever in the Big Brain Bouts, we're looking at the main base of a Swedish Zerg. You guys have probably seen his stream as well. He's a very chill, fun dude. It is ThrivingGG. And if you guys are wondering, Roddy, why is he playing again? Didn't he just play? Yes. But the reason I have invited him this quickly again is because when we made him play against Heaven, and Heaven seemed to be a tiny bit too good, there was also a problem with the European Battle.net server. So every single game was played on the American server, which is obviously not totally fair. And I told him, I'll make it up to you, mate. Thank you for still playing. Next time, I'll make sure you can play some games on Europe. And I'll also give you somebody who is a little less good, because it turns out that Heaven just became a bit of an animal. Not Heaven Holden, sorry. Yeah, sorry, not Heaven Holden. I mean, you guys, 2 American nerds, both young, both relatively new, starting with an H. They both play Protoss. They're both a little above 5k, but it turns out that my boy Heaven, guys. Heaven actually made some great progress. So that was a little bit of a one-sided series. It still had its moments, but I figured let's give ThrivingGG another shot against the Protoss, who is just ranked a little bit lower than that. And that's why we came up with this match. I think it's going to be fun, guys. I have actually seen Heaven and Holden in the same room, yeah. Because they were both at the DreamHack Masters, the Winter Championships in Atlanta. And first I met Heaven with his dad. He was very cute. He was very excited to be there. And then a little bit later I met Holden. And then I made him feel bad for not GGing to me. And he said, I'm sorry, Roddy, I'll do better. And I believe he's done a whole lot better. So yes, I have seen him in the same room. They are not the same. Wait, I got it. Oh my god, the other way around. Unbelievable. Okay. Holden is the one who's playing tonight. Yes. Sorry, guys. Sorry. And Heaven does always GG, I think. Or is it Holden? Nobody knows anymore. Yes, I know. The last one was on purpose. But yes, I got the story mixed up. We'll talk about it soon, okay? When I see the name on the screen, I won't mess it up anymore. For now, we've had our man Bully sacrifice his first adept. He shaded it in deep into the main, and he killed a single drone. And the follow-up, guys, maybe a little inspired by either Heaven or Holden, one of the two, found a lot of success against ThrivingGG with DTs and a War Prism, since our Swedish Zerg lovely Overlord does not seem to get very quick lairs. And if you don't get a quick lair, you obviously don't have an Overseer. And if you don't have an Overseer, dealing with DTs, dealing with War Prisms is going to be frustrating. But the execution of Bully should be a tiny bit worse than the execution of the American Protoss player that starts with an H. Holden, I think. Yeah, the long game definitely rattled me a little. I'm not going to lie. You know, I was just like, alright, we're gonna start up the stream, we'll click a couple buttons, and then I just got stuck in this slugfest of a PvP on Hardlet. Kudos to my opponent, by the way. I think he had me a few times. So. Very nice of him that he's like, Rotter's about to cast 4 best of 5s. We'll let him have it, so he's in a good mood. That game was so... What do you mean? What was wrong with that game? I think that was a great game. I saved my probes a couple times with recalls. ThrivingGG is showing us that he has learned a thing or two from that previous series. The Spore Crawler is here. He does end up losing 2 queens very quickly. Bully, oh no! But Bully has also learned, just like the American Protoss did. Bully is also going to lose his War Prism in the very first attack on Hecate. Now, the difference between Bully and either Heaven or Holden is the fact that one of those guys lost their War Prism with 4 DTs inside of it. I'm playing in Mega Save. You guys got me, man. I'm lost at this point. This is not fair. I feel like you guys are bullying the old man. I think from here on out, a best of 45 between Heaven and Holden. And one of them is going to either switch arrays. That's going to make it easy. Or change their nickname. One of the two. And I'll cast all of it. Bully is getting a bit carried away here, guys. He is not finding the same success as the Protoss had probably inspired him to go for this build. As he rallies 2 more DTs in, he's going to lose those 2 DTs as well. You can already see that this one is a little bit closer than the previous best of 5. ThrivingGG is going to show up here with a whole bunch of links and should be able to get a cancel. That was a very late cancel by Bully. He scared me. Those force fields are the opposite of late. They are early. It is better to be late safe than sorry, as ThrivingGG is going to get a spine. He's working on +1 melee. He's getting an Evo chamber. Getting a second Evo chamber. Getting a Baling Nest. I have noticed in some of the games that I played against ThrivingGG that he does not play... or doesn't really spread a crazy amount of creep. Obviously, every Zerg will try to spread creep. And of course, a lot of the Protoss players or the Terrans that you play against are going to do their best to push it back. But that seems to be one of the weaker aspects of his game. And Zerg benefits so much from having that vision, having that speed. And I do think that is something that if he really wants to take a step as a player, then he's going to have to work on a little bit. Well, I don't remember that story, Pi. What do you mean? I thought that you were a lady? When did I ever think that you were a lady? This is worse than what's happening in my Discord, where everybody has called themselves Rewind or something close to it. After home... Oh, that's so long ago. I don't really remember that. Yeah, that vaguely rings a bell. Well, Skenneth, you know what often happens? What you're saying is definitely not incorrect. But I think if you're a streamer, you're just kind of... You talk, right? And then you talk through. And the moment that you don't have a good start and things don't totally go according to plan, in your mind, the other guy is going to do exactly what you don't want him to do. And if he does that, you're going to lose. So most of the time when a streamer is telling you, obviously not everyone, right? But if you think of Gabe and especially me, like if I say that I think I'm losing, I genuinely mean it. But I also still see ways to win. But it's just like at that point, the game is not really going according to plan and we could be in trouble. Hello, Benny. Like at this point, you guys have really confused me. So I guess Holden is the one that I met with the dad. And Heaven is just our Protoss who's playing tonight. Right? I could swear it was the other way around, but... Heaven is Mr. No GG. I've seen you GG, mate. I've seen you GG. How can I remember this? I sometimes, guys, if I get confused, as this Hive, by the way, is mega quick for ThrivingGG. I'm not used to seeing him with a Hive this quick. 9 minutes into the game, the Hive is done, and Vipers are on the production tab, and he's also having a good old time with just a crazy amount of swarmy units. Sometimes I need to get myself a little bridge in my head to remind certain things. So if Holden is the one with the curly hair, I'm just thinking of hold my kills. You know, sometimes the ladies just ask, hold my kills. I think from here on out I've got it, guys. Heaven is playing tonight, Holden is the one with the curly hair. I will not confuse you guys anymore. The Dutch Kevins are very easy to separate, because one is very good at video games and the other one not so much. ThrivingGG is doing his best to find openings, but I kind of like the defensive setup of Bully. It's something I think Bully has always been pretty good at. He walks around with complicated armies, and he actually does a pretty good job in splitting up his forces. He's got some cannons, he's got some batteries. Attacking into double robo disruptor, dropping force fields. We're actually off to a really good start here, guys, in the Big Brain Bouts. Other than me not keeping Holden and Heaven separated, but I've done it now. I know who's who. Heaven is playing tonight, baby. It's Heaven against Musti. And ooh, baby, do you know what it's like? It's gonna be good. Couple of corrosive balls getting sent forward. Bully believes that this is dodgeball and he has to collect them. I'm actually smiling. These two seem a really good match for one another. This is already so much better than the series that Holden and ThrivingGG had. As Bully is going to lose 11 probes, he is going to do whatever he can to keep that Nexus alive. Nice splits against the Disruptors there on the side of ThrivingGG. And look at them Immortals, baby. One Immortal is legitimately a sneeze away of dying. That is a 2 HP Immortal, and ThrivingGG had Vipers, but he just casually loses them. If he would have made the attack with the Vipers there and drop a couple of Blinding Clouds, that would have gone so much better. And he's doing all of this of 69 drones. I'm actually starting to believe that Bully is in a spot that should spark a lot of joy. I don't know why he has a High Templar here, maybe for feedbacks. Is he that worried about feedbacks? I guess. Yeah, those were full energy Vipers. ThrivingGG once more as another Nova gets fired forward. At one point, our Swedish Zerg guys had a 60 supply lead. Not able to close it out. Now does have the Pain Train though, and that is minus 17 workers real quick. Lino's taking notes and he's like, alright Bully, you make fun of me losing probes against Widow Mines. I'll make some fun of you as well. As 2 more Banelings are on the journey. They are +2 melee Banelings. That is not enough to one-shot anymore, unfortunately. Seems that Bully has given up on defending for a bit. Crazy that that Nexus survived, that 1 low HP Immortal survived. That's a good Ravager or a good Disruptor hit, I thought, but it's really not that good as it settles for a single Ravager. This game is just crazy, guys. From a crazy ladder game into a pretty wild first game between Bully and ThrivingGG. Now that the dust has settled a little, I think I like it for Bully, but I don't know if he likes it. And if he doesn't like it, he's gonna make mistakes because he's gonna get nervous. And I like how the Lynx surround the Nexus and do hold position. Like, maybe we should just attack the Nexus? Yeah, that's a good idea. And the shield battery overcharge was not used there to keep that Nexus alive. Of course, that's something that he could have done. Now another Nexus is going to get fully surrounded by Zerglings with +2 melee. And look at that, baby, even a Draenor glance. So Bully goes from a 4-base Protoss to a 2-base Protoss in a game that looked good for him a minute ago. Now does no longer look very good. But he may still be able to end it with one devastating push. A lot of Stalkers, Immortals, Sentries, some Storms. Legitimately a very fun first game, guys, here on the Friday night. Basilisk Big Brain Bouts number 48. $60 on the line for the winner, 15 for the loser. And up next, we've got Musti and Heaven. Right, guys? Yeah, that's right. I've done it. I was just 100% convinced it was the other way around. Don't ask me why, but... It is actually my friend Heaven that's playing tonight, right? I didn't accidentally invite Holden again. That would be real bad. We'll invite Holden again, but that's going to have to wait a little while. Couple of lightning clouds are going to land in the center of this Protoss army. Storm lands though, the Nova lands as well, as Bully is going to try to move away from these lightning clouds. What an epic fight. And it actually seems that the Protoss army will reign supreme. But now we've got a couple of Broodlords showing up, and with a couple I mean 5 Broodlords showing up. So yes, the Protoss army wins the ground fight, but cannot stick around against them Broodlords. And since Bully has never rebuilt the third base, and he's barely rebuilding the fourth, ThrivingGG needs to slow down though. Because if you send your Broodlords out this far, maybe some Stalkers could show up and kill them. And then again, there is nothing that can really protect the Stalkers against the Lynx. And these are ultra feisty Zerglings with +3 melee and adrenal glands. The fight was good by Bully, but I'm afraid it was just not good enough after he lost those two Nexi that close to one another. He's gonna get a couple of Archons. Will this game, like the Masters Colosseum early today, have one final plot twist? Or is this just going to be it? I mean, it could still go Bully's way. Because I personally don't think that ThrivingGG should really be here with his army, but Bully's gonna blink forward. The Lightning Clouds are pretty damn good, and it's gonna push the Stalker army back. Are there any storms left? I think maybe one storm in the near future. Those were excellent blinding clouds, but you obviously can't keep on getting away with that. ThrivingGG is honestly playing a style that a lot of Zergs would consider blasphemy, where he's making so many units of a relatively low drone count. And he's even moving out, and then he's just kind of chilling, and then he's making a few more units. Look at them links, by the way. Oh. Bully does realize that it's still possible for him to find a tiny bit of economic damage too, as he grabs 4 Zealots and is going to send them to the other side of the map. A 16-minute first game where Bully has lost 50 probes and killed 1 drone. That's actually amazing that he only killed 1 drone after all those DTs he made early on. What a game. Wrong glass. I was supposed to finish my tea first. I was like, damn, that tea's got a kick to it. But that was not my tea, guys. Woo! All the +3 melee Zerglings show up one more time, but this Nexi is very well protected. Or this Nexus, rather. It's just one of them. 2 batteries, a cannon, and the army is nearby. Even though Bully is mega broke, he's like, you know what I want? +3, baby. I think that's a little ambitious, but okay. Maybe. Maybe in his mind, this game is just coming down to the wire, and a little bit of extra damage can make the difference. But I think the ThrivingGG economy is still a little too good to consider the game like that. Maybe the Starks could blink forward and snipe one Broodlord. He tried, but he was a little bit too late. Broodlords are just so quick these days, eh? Bulmyeolja Vipers are chilling there. We need some storms here, Bully. We need some storms. He is going to land those storms. We need a battery overcharge as well, almost immediately, mate. If we want to have a tiny chance, we need battery overcharge. We're not going to get battery overcharge as Bully loses 19 probes for like the 3rd time in this game. The Fungo kind of whiffs. We do have a few Zealots counterattacking, by the way. Look at Bully. He's everywhere at once. He's like, well, I'm not going to go out of this game without at least killing a couple of drones. 149 supply against 95. This may be my finest piece of matchmaking yet, as a couple of feedbacks have landed on these Vipers. Bully's gonna blink forward, but unfortunately he does not have enough anti-air. It is going to be ThrivingGG who's gonna pick up his first map win ever in the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts after an 18-minute banger versus Bully. Hey guys, that was a very good first game. That was actually a 10 out of 10 start to the night. And obviously Bully could have done a lot of things better, especially in the early game with his opening. He lost the War Prism, he then donated 2 DTs afterwards, but he still turned it into a banger. At one point, he was a 4-base Protoss, and I think the game was legitimately, I wouldn't say his, but it was in his favor. It's just that it got so chaotic that I think he kind of lost track of the game. And then he just started moving his army around like a chicken without its head, and then he lost the 3rd, he lost the 4th, didn't heal up the 3rd base with the battery. Sure. Yeah, that's fair. Game 2 will be on the American server. Game 3 will obviously be on Europe. Game 4 on America. And Game 5 will do a coin toss if we get there. So this was Europe. ThrivingGG takes the 1-0 lead in the opening bout of the night. That was great. I apologize to Holden and Heaven. I legitimately just got it mixed up. I think the reason why I thought it is just because Heaven sounds kind of sweet. And in my mind, the man who's Holden, I just thought he was kind of a sweet kid. He's always so nice and he's excited. And I met his dad. So in my mind, it's just like, oh, Heaven, sweet kid. His nickname must be Heaven. And then the other guy is It's kind of like tougher, and they're like, that's Holden, baby. Yeah, I have no idea how I managed to do that, but I did. Should have bet more. It's only the first game, and it's very obvious that these two are very competitive with one another. Game 2 is going to be played on Solaris. Why is Roddy not playing Palworld like all the other streamers? I don't know a lot about it, mate, but I believe it's Pokemon with guns, right? I think Rainer has actually played it a little bit. I saw some screenshots, and it definitely looks a lot like Pokemon, like a shameless copy. But I don't really have interest in trying it, but I'm happy if other people are having fun with it, mate. I'll let them do their thing, I do my own.
Round 2. Fight!
Top right side of Solaris. We are looking at the main base of our American Protoss community legend. You guys may know him from all things Protoss or from his own stream, as he does stream a lot on Twitch. And if you don't know him from that, you may know him from Grubby's stream, because he does some translating there. And if that still doesn't ring a bell, perhaps you just know him from the Roddy stream, because he's an all-around great dude. This is Bully. Bottom left side, the man who got a little bit unlucky because Battle.net did not function properly a few weeks ago when he was duking it out with Holden. He lost that one 0-3 on the American server, but I don't think it was all ping. It just seemed that Holden was a tiny bit better, and that's okay. Now we know. So we gave him a different opponent, and he gave us an absolutely fantastic first game. The Swedish Zerg, ThrivingGG. People who play it say it's more like Ark. I've also never played Ark. But to answer your question, mate, you're not going to see me play it. I just don't have any interest. I have been ultra busy with Starcraft. And the thing is, guys, every morning I wake up, and if there is nothing official to cast, I can obviously always stream a different game. But if I ever make that journey from my bed to my backyard, to the coffee machine, to the couch, to the backyard, back to the coffee machine, back upstairs, shower, and then to my computer, because that's basically my ritual. And I sit behind this computer and I'm like, what video game do I want to play today? I just never have the feeling there is anything that I want to play more than StarCraft. And if I ever do have that feeling, I will obviously give it a shot. But it's hard to beat, man. It is hard to beat a good thing. And of course, not every day of StarCraft is fun. I have plenty of days that I'm absolutely fuming and I'm malding and I'm not having a good time. But in the beginning of the day, you always have the hopes and dreams that it is going to be an amazing StarCraft day. The third coffee sleeper is once I actually fire up the stream. That's when coffee number 3 kicks in. Bully is gonna switch it up. We saw the 4-gate, the Dark Templar opening in game 1. Here in game 2, he's gonna go for a quick Stargate. But ThrivingGG has a lot of weird openings where he will sneak some Zerglings to the other side of the map. Sometimes all the links, sometimes just a couple of links. And if these links show up while your first adept is on the other side of the map and the second adept is not done yet, it's gonna be annoying. Bully says, I believe in my multitasking. I'm gonna deal with those links later. I'm gonna focus on my adept and first kill a couple of drones. I'm not sure if that was truly the way to do it, Bully. Oh, mate. Oh. This is not it, guys. This is not it. That is a lot of lost mining time. We have lost 4 probes. We are close to losing... No, we have lost 3 probes, sorry. We were close to losing 4. Take a look at your graph. You guys can see that ThrivingGG was just mining, even if it was temporarily, a whole lot more than the American Protoss Bully. We can't blame that one on ping. Well done by ThrivingGG. I think if I was Bully, guys, you just run that adept in one time, then you shade back and you focus on the defense. Because 4 units have more potential than a single unit. So it would have been better to just take care of those links. That second adept was like 70% done. Losing 1 probe there is okay, but we should have not lost 3, and we definitely should not have lost that much mining time. A shout out to our man Bruno. By the way, I'm sure that I missed a lot of subs and resubs during my 27-minute PvP. Well, you guys were probably making fun of me, but what can I say? It was very intense. It was an intense, great video game. A Void Ray into a second Stargate, into a Fleet Beacon. Look at Bully. Maybe Bully has gotten some help from Trigger. Whenever I see this build, in this day and age, I kind of think of Trigger doing it in Game 5 against Chem, when an IEM Katowice slot was on the line, and that was obviously a very big series. Uh-oh, quick bailing nest. Honestly, the best thing that ThrivingGG could do here, because people will often ask me, like, oh, what should you do against somebody who just goes double Stargate on 2 bases? You just build drones all the way up to like 70 plus. Then you get melee upgrades, and then you just spam Link Bane. Every single time they want to go up to 3 bases, bam, you're there. And if they stay on 2 bases forever, you can even try to Baneling bust the 2-base setup. But it is important for ThrivingGG that he first gets a really good economy. This is, by the way, very easy to scout right now. Because obviously the warp gates are done, and then the cyber core is still going. I love air upgrades, as you guys know, and I often talk about it. But it is important to keep in mind that some pros will not immediately do it. And the reason they don't immediately do it is because they don't want to make it so obvious that this is going to be a double Stargate or a triple Stargate game. I personally don't really care if they know. I just believe in the execution, but that is obviously not something that can apply to the absolute highest level. And that's why whenever you guys see me play against Lambo, I die in 7 minutes. If I even make it that far. I probably made a very disgusting face there for a split second. I thought I was putting my mouth to the cup and that there was a hair in my mouth. And I was like, ew, what is that? But it was just the cord of my tea bag. Not that gross. Even though it's not supposed to be there. ThrivingGG has dropped a RotterdaM. And he's gonna go for some good old Hydra Link Bane. He does this against me quite often as well. I think it is very good against Phoenix openings. I don't know if you can really build the right amount of Hydras to deal with 4 carriers. Like 2 carriers is something you can kind of fight, right? With 9, 10 Hydras. Can you really attack with Hydra Link Bane into 4 carriers? Now it does come down to Bully not doing anything silly. As our man is actually droning up now again. It is very hard to predict what ThrivingGG is going to do, guys. Because he's like, units, drones, units, drones, drones, units, drones. That carrier takes a lot of damage very quick. Don't think that Hydras can chase it successfully off creep. The Lynx have a full surround on the Nexus, and a couple of Banelings are going to show up as well to blow up that Adept, to maybe blow up the battery. Cancel Bully, no! Bully is busy microing his carriers to kill a couple of Hydras, but he does not cancel the Nexus. So that is 400 minerals down the drain. It would have been 100 minerals down the drain if he would have cancelled it. Not cancelling it means he loses 400. I'm also not totally certain, guys, about resonating glaives right now. 4 carriers into glaives? I mean, it is a build, I guess, but I think it would have been a lot more sensible and logical if we would have just fired up charge here, and then you can go carriers with Zealots, Archons, and that jazz. Adepts are very good against tiny armies. And Adepts are very good if there are like no Banelings or the Hydra count isn't high, but if the Hydra count does get high... Okay. Bully has cancelled Adepts. I love it. It's a good call. Maybe he just panicked, misclicks. Maybe he's a bit nervous, right? All of that is possible. But yeah, it makes so much more sense to go for a Zealot charge here. MMR of the first series of the night is around 5k-ish. Like, ThrivingGG sometimes gets a bit higher, but the other day when I played him, he was like 5,080 MMR. Bully hovers between 4.9 and I think the best he ever did was 5.2. So 5k, 5.1 is a pretty good average for these guys. This is a little bit similar to what MC was doing a lot in the Legends tournament over last summer in Riyadh. You open up with a couple of carriers and then you just have a follow-up. You can obviously go with Stalkers, with Blink, but I like Zealots and Archons, especially against the Zerg, who makes a lot of lair attack units like Hydras, Lynx, and Banes of a relatively weak economy. Hello, Ant. I feel like we had a fun game with each other as well yesterday. I remember talking about you, but I forgot what happened. Did I win? Was it fun because of that? I feel like I should invite you once as well. I'll write it down, mate. What's with all the hate in the chat? I don't think there's been any hate in the chat at all, mate. I think everybody in the chat has been very nice to our gamers so far, and everybody likes Bully and everybody likes ThrivingGG. A lot of them are actually friends with Bully, so obviously then there is a bit of banter. Banter is allowed among friends. I really don't think that chat has been bad. I'm gonna go for it here. I'm not totally certain who should run into who. It's very important that Bully's carriers don't attack these Hydras forever with Microbio Shroud. I mean, this is some big brain gaming, guys. Bully, maybe we can like temporarily run away from these Shrouds, or we don't even have to. Maybe we don't even have to with some extra Zealots showing up. That's gonna make it okay. The Shroud ability is actually very good if the only thing the Protoss has are carriers. But obviously, the Bully did have some Zealots as well, warped in even more Zealots, started to fight with a couple of Archons and Sentries. Now ThrivingGG is in a little bit of a pickle. On creep though, the Hydras can be absolutely crazy, since we don't have Storms or something to worry about. I think Bully knows that, so he should just go back. Do we have a Robobay, guys? No, we don't. You know what I have noticed, guys, of a lot of the games that I've seen of Bully, is that he loves Sentries. It doesn't really matter how crazy or how chaotic a game is. The man will always warp in a couple sentries. I make like 1 sentry per game, you know. First push, Guardian Shield. I got it? Nice, awesome. I'll never make a sentry again. Bully loves the sentry. He's an old school gamer. As we have the Hydras battling the Archons, the Zealots. One of the Void Rays does go down. A tiny fungo is going to land on the carrier. And that is honestly the same as a mosquito landing on your arm on a beautiful summer day. Not going to have a very big impact. You can kill these carriers with abducts. Like, if you have a crazy amount of Hydras, and he's got 29 Hydras, I honestly think that like Hydra, Lurker, Viper can get the job done. Because Bully is not really building too many additional carriers, right? He's gone up to 5, but that's kind of it. He is not getting +2 air weapons either, so I don't know if we really need a Spire. I basically think like more Hydras. I think Lurkers are a fantastic choice. Only if the game slows down and the Protoss army gets bigger and there will be Storm or Disruptors or Colossus. Like, yeah, then maybe a Spire is nice. I think right now it's okay to still go without the Spire. We don't have a massive Hydra count, no? 30 Hydras, mate, against 5 carriers. I think that's alright. Especially with a couple of Vipers in the mix, mate. I don't know how many Hydras is a massive amount for you. You want to see him have like 68 Hydras? Go down to like 50 drones, guys. We need more Hydras. I think 30 Hydras is okay. No, he had like 15? No, he had like 29 earlier when I showed it. But yeah, we do have some extra carriers on the way. And obviously, the situation does change. As we have a couple of Lurkers just casually running into the triangle. Like, the situation will change if the Protoss army gets bigger and bigger, and it's 191 supply right now. And then you have more terrifying units to worry about. Against the 27 Zealots, I think Hydras and Lurkers are completely fine. But if we are looking at Colossus, Disruptors, and more Storms, yeah, then you guys are obviously right. Not sure where the Lurkers and the Vipers are right now, but I don't really see them. It is just Hydras running to the other side of the map, fighting in range of cannons and battery overcharge. Oh no, ThrivingGG, mate, this was not the fight at all. You have Infestors, you have Vipers, they're just chilling at home. We just donated 3 Lurkers. He's kind of rich on 83 drones, but he's not that rich that you can throw away Hydras like that. Bully has a few Zealots running into the base in the top left side, and they are going to battle the spines. Our American Protoss is definitely a Zealot enjoyer, eh? Lurkers are going to burrow. Do we have an observer here? I don't think there is an observer. There is an observer. It's just trailing behind the army. It's a little bit too late. Vipers are going to land a couple of abducts. The first carrier will fall. The second carrier will fall. The Hydras are going to run for a little bit. Now we've got 23 Hydras left to deal with. 5 carriers in total, but only 4 of them are here, I believe. Yeah. And these two are such a good match. Double feedback is going to land on the side of Bully, as he does end up losing High Templar, but he lands a little Storm. Not sure about fighting in range of the Lurkers, in range of the Shroud. Maybe it's time to go back, mate. It is time to go back. It's a shame that Bully doesn't really have... No. He doesn't have a War Prism or a Pylon or a Gateway on the other side of the map. Pylon with a Gateway. He is going to kill more and more drones though, and it seems like we're going to be able to successfully take out the very rich Vespian Geyser base as well, if we would have clicked on it, but does not want to click on it yet. He's going to run back. And he's just building more carriers. Carriers have +2 at this point. We've got 5 of them. The Vipers are here. Can we land some feedbacks, Bully? No, he cannot land the feedbacks. Is he going to be able to save the carriers? I think one of them. One carrier goes down, the other one gets saved, as both nerds are working with 180 supply. What about we take out these rocks? Yes. Kinda feels that Bully should win, right? 2-3 more Archons, couple Zealots, maybe run them into the top left again. You've already taken out a couple of the Spines. Or run a few Zealots into the natural just to create some chaos. Then you land the feedbacks, you drop a Storm. And as long as you don't run into the Lurkers and lose your entire ground army, I think it's your game. Can we successfully tie things up in the opening Big Brain Bout of the night? $60 for the winner, 15 for the loser. The Lurkers are actually going to be the unit that will run headfirst into the Protoss army. This is just a very chaotic fight, guys. Bully is casually forgetting about 2 carriers. But those carriers will stay alive. Now we can spam some Storms so we can kill our own Interceptors. There's only 25 Interceptors remain. Feels like it should be more, but it's only 25 for now. The Vipers are looking for them abducts, but not able to land it yet. 2 feedbacks do go down. A single abduct is decent. The Infestors are misrelied, guys, in the top side of our screen. So those Infestors will not be able to do anything. And I do believe that the Protoss army now is too big and too powerful to ever be stopped. With 19 more Hydras on the production tab for ThrivingGG. I don't think that is going to be enough. Bully is going to warp in more Zealots that he's just going to casually rally to the other side of the map. And we're going to get on top of the last fresh base of our Swedish Zerg player. Bully is very derpy with his army sometimes. He's like, It's like, come on, mate, let those Zealots fight. Isn't it obvious that they want to fight? Just go ahead and attack move and split them off. Worry about your carriers and High Templars all day, every day. And let the Zealots do their thing. Does land the Storm. Should be able to kill one of the Vipers here. I think we're going to be able to get the second Viper. The Infestors. Some final juicy Storms. That's good enough, guys. That is absolutely going to be good enough. The Zealots will charge into the natural as well. Look at the boys go. And after... how many minutes of video gaming, guys? 35? 40 minutes of video gaming. We're all tied up. One apiece. Actually, banger. By the way, guys, even though we are in the middle of the Big Brain Bouts. Hey, Roddy, do you want to play some teams with my friend and I? Or are you streaming or just chilling? Chilling, mate. We're chilling. Kind of busy, mate. Maybe next time. Yeah. Is the Hearthstone vs Australia match over? No, that will be the final match of the night. It should start around 9 PM, but since A, I got stuck in a ladder game that went on forever, and B, these guys seem to not be able to kill each other early, I have the feeling we're going to be a tiny bit behind schedule. But there's a lot of Protoss tonight, and on top of that, we've got our Spanish boy, Aquaron. Why is Rainer inviting me, mate? Rainer, what are you doing? Oh, Rainer is so stupid. Rainer invited me to hide and seek, and he said, "Are you chilling or just busy?" Oh, okay. Waiting for the lobby invite of our boys. Game 3 between Bully and ThrivingGG will be played on Oceanborn. Very fun series so far, guys. What is the blue thing on the side of your mic? You know, Benny, you are legitimately the first one ever to ask. It is just one of these things that I bought at an airport. I think it was in Minnesota. Because I had a couple dollars burning a hole in my pocket. And I was like, why do I have these leftover $1 bills? Like a $10 bill or $20 bill or $100 bill, I'll save, right? But I'm not going to save the $1 bills. So then I found this cute little ducky. But then you come home and you've got a magnet with a cute little ducky. And you're like, what the fuck am I going to do with it? And I was like, it doesn't work on my fridge. But I was like, you know what? It works on my mic. So I thought it was kind of cute. And it's just been there and it does not bother me. All right, round 3.
Round 3. Fight.
Top left side of Oceanborn, and the man who loves the sentries, and he's a little derpy with the zealots. But other than that, good showing so far from our American Protoss, who once upon a time played a best of 5 against the UK Terran Jesu on this channel. And I was so impressed, because that was the first time I ever got to see Bully. And I was like, what? This guy is like 4-9, he's playing so well, but he just plays very complicated StarCraft. This is Bulmyeolja Bully. From the Midwest, somewhere, guys. It's either Minnesota or North Dakota or Wisconsin. He cares. We don't. Bottom right side of Oceanborn. We are looking in the main base over Swedish Zerg. He's a streamer as well. I definitely recommend you guys to check out his stream. Very chill, very casual. If you guys like Neuro, I think you absolutely will love ThrivingGG as well. Zerg Esports, ThrivingGG. It's a loon. It's a loon. State bird, my friend. Really? I mean, I had no idea, man. To me, it's just a ducky. But if you guys say that it's a loon, and the people of Minnesota are very proud of it, from here on out, I will call it a loon. Bully is in South Dakota. I don't believe that. I think he's from Minnesota. Like, memes aside. I think a while ago I said that I thought he was from Wisconsin. Well, he's not from any of those places. He's from a completely different place. He just moved there. But I kind of forgot where Bully is originally from. But I do know that he moved to Minnesota. He is from North Dakota and he moved to Minnesota. Is that what it is? I believe you guys. That I don't know. Yeah, I know, Red Winter. I said a little while ago in one of the games that he's from Wisconsin. And he's like, Roddy! He's like, I don't really care, but that's not where I'm from at all. Thank you, Flash. Obviously, not every single week, guys. Every best of 5 that I come up with is a fantastic one. But after 2 games, I do think it is safe to say that these two are a very good match for one another. And I don't think they actually have played a lot of games against each other, you know, on the ladder or anything. Probably Aligalag would say that they have never played against each other. I don't know. Like, but ThrivingGG was a bit of a mystery to me. Because I watched a couple of games on his stream and I played a few games against him. And he had some good games against me, but he is obviously a very different Zerg. But I'm a bit of a different Protoss, as Bully cancels the Shade, kills the first drone. So it was kind of hard for me to figure out how good he really was. And then when I spoke to Holden, I was like, yeah, you want to play a game? A best of 5 against ThrivingGG. But also, in my mind, Holden was still like 5'2"-ish. Then somebody's like, no, Roddy, Holden is like 5'5" now, or 5'6". I was like, what? That's a lot. I was like, well, you know, ThrivingGG was like 5'3" at one point on Europe, and he made me sweat a few times. I was like, could be a good match, but it was obvious that Holden was a bit too good. But today, ThrivingGG against Bully, I think is an actual certified Big Brain Bouts banger. How much often do you drink tea, you think? In the first 35 years of my life, absolutely never, ever. These days, like 2 or 3 a day. Shout out to Bellringer for gifting us a couple subbies, mate. I appreciate it. Legend. And Soviet 1917. Thank you for the prime. What happened in 1917, guys? Was that the official end of the First World War? First World War was from 1914 to 1917, is that correct? That's what I would guess. Oh, was that the revolution? 1918? Close though, close. So Bully is very casually, guys, opening up a triple oracle. Now that's not something new, right? That's not something we've never seen before. You don't often see 3 oracles just waiting for their friends to join them in the center of the map, ready for a good old night out with the boys. When so far the boys are having fun with the ladies, as one of the ladies has already fallen. The second lady, though, gets saved by her friend. I had a great quote there, and oh my goodness, call in the cavalry. Ladies are better than men. You've heard it here first, guys. The boys got smacked. One of the ladies fell victim early for that shitty chat and a winky face, but in the end, the girls came back swinging. 2 out of 3 oracles die. Very little damage. Not the start that Bully was looking for. It's okay, Dave. Sometimes it takes a couple seconds for Twitch to update. You're a streamer, mate. You should know. I don't think there is any need for panic. Also interesting that Bully went triple Oracle into a Void Ray. Maybe it is because he's starting to pick up on the fact that ThrivingGG is not a super standard Zerg who makes a lot of units in weird moments, and perhaps he feels having a safety unit like a Void Ray at home that can always make his life a bit easier against Lings and Banes is a good investment. Stasis Strappy is pretty good. I know, Dave. It happens sometimes. You should know that too. Oracles are also ladies, as we've known from the Matrix. No, oracles are not ladies. Those are the boys, baby. Don't forget that oracles can dance and create a little bit of a disco on the map. Actually something we never see before. Huh? Nobody is dancing with his oracles. It's been forever since I saw a Protoss player dance his oracles. Or maybe it's just on my stream because I never built one. And all the other games that I cast are serious. It's been a long time though. Bully is gonna grab that one Void Ray that he has and he's gonna send it to the bottom side of the map. There is no Spore Crawler here. Well, there wasn't one. He's gonna build one right now. But what we do have are 2 female bounces. And they run a tight security on this club. The Void Ray is officially not welcome. It's kind of like Rainer when he tries to party in the Netherlands, you know. Wrong dress code. Too many holes in his pants. Wrong shoes. Poor Rainer. This is Rainer in Amsterdam, guys. Going back and forth from door to door. It's raining. Just wondering, where can I party? Why don't they let me in anywhere? What's wrong with this country? Double Force is going to be the follow-up, by the way, for Bully. And a RoboBay. Yes, ThrivingGG, I think, has done a good job this game. It's just building a few more drones. In a lot of the other games that we've seen of him, he is just spamming units. And obviously it's fun and you can make stuff happen with units. But it's so important not to get hard stuck at 48 drones, 55 drones. And especially if you want to tack up a little bit and you want to play the longer games, you do need a better economy. This has been by far and away the most chill game between these two so far. Game 1 and Game 2, it kind of felt like non-stop action. Here in Game 3 on Oceanborn, they are taking their time. I guess ThrivingGG has seen me talk about the Burrow Baneling a couple of times, as I have seen him in chat quite often lately. Not sure about the Burrowed Baneling against Protoss, guys. I feel like that's not really a thing. It should not be a thing. And this is why. The thing is, even if the Stalkers would have stepped on it, the Stalkers would be like, oh, little bump in the road there, guys. It's gonna just remind you of those Los Angeles highways where there are cracks everywhere, but your car will still just go over it perfectly fine. At least for a year or two. Until you bring it to the garage. And then they're like, we need to fix everything. You want your car back? We fix this and that and that. And they hit you with 27 terms and spend a couple $1,000 just to make sure that you can continue driving. I've been there a few times. It was painful because I'm not a car person at all. I just know nothing. So if you then do go to a garage, you just kind of hope to trust them, right? You take their word for it. This is not my area of expertise. I have the feeling that a few times I absolutely did get scammed for changes and things that were not supposed to happen. ThrivingGG is gonna set up not one, but 2 potential attacks, but the first one has already been revealed. Stalkers are going to blink forward. A couple of Stalkers do go down, so it wasn't a total waste of Banes, as we have a bunch of Infestors just sharking in the center of the map. This man is trying to put on a show, baby. Now, there is money on the line, guys, so it's really not all about having fun. What are we going to Nura? One Infestor has been revealed. Bully has spotted one of these burrowed Infestors. Did not spot all 8. If every single Immortal gets neuroparasited, by the way, this can get gnarly, but look at that Nova. The first Nova is fantastic. The second one is pretty good as well. And ThrivingGG is trying to land the Fungals. But after you lose half of your army, this cannot possibly be all that impactful. I mean, it's a very cool attack. It's a great idea, but it's just not going to work. It's just a little too fancy, a little too much of the cool stuff. Maybe if those Novas weren't as big, this could have actually been a dream fight for the Swedish Zerg, but that is not the case. Shout out to Dave for gifting out a couple subbies, and shout out to Proto as well. Tier 3 even to Maple. Now, speaking of tier 3s, guys, I actually had a DM today. And I don't even want to give too many hints. Oh no, Bully, the Zealot, guys. Bully inspired by Hero. Does not have his Zealot on hold position. So the Zealot is going to charge forward. And we have a few links running into the main. 5 probes die immediately. Recall will save it. Battery overcharge will save it. Fire Nova. I know you want to, Bully. Blow up your own probes. But yeah, TLDR, I got a kid reaching out to me. And I've had that quite a few times where they're like, hey Roddy, I want to join Team Roddy. Obviously, I cannot recruit everything. But this kid is really good. And I'm like, I always feel like he's too good to even join Team Roddy, but you know, if he wants it, I'm like, man, I'm gonna get back to you and I'm gonna see what I can do. And hopefully that would be a very short stay, because I do think that he should honestly be on a better team than that already. But I was like, man, I just kind of signed another kid. When I say signed, I just mean a mutual agreement, right, for a couple months. Don't really do the whole contract thingy. Because if you Novas fly forward, Ravages get blown up. Well, maybe we'll temporarily have 4 players on Team Roddy. See what we can do. But that should not last too long. Battery overcharge is going to save the Disruptor. Good save there. Was it Rain Assault? No. It's a very good, very good player. I would say that would probably be the best player we ever had on Team Roddy. Even though Goblin would have a meltdown if he hears me say that. Sorry, Gubbas. This is how I feel. Couple of Infestors looking for some neuroparasites, but that is not going to happen, as we had an Observer in the mix. And ThrivingGG has done multiple attempts now, or has made multiple attempts on landing some great neuroparasites and fungals and whatnot, but it's just a little too much of the stylish, awesome stuff. It's not gonna get Bully out there. Bully is a gamer. He watches a lot of Starcraft. He knows where he needs to get in these PvZs, and I do actually think he's a pretty good late game player for this MMR, of course. Not saying that you get the best of Lembo in a late game, but I think for 5k MMR, I think Bully has very good late game army control. He's patient with his spell casting. He always believes in the sentry, and this kind of seems to know which units to build. Corrupt account is at 12. Well, something just dropped. I don't know what it was. Are you okay? Okay. What happened? Again? Okay, that sounds bad. Vicky fell down the stairs. I heard something fell down. But you're okay, babe? Okay. Sorry guys, a tiny distraction there, but my woman fell down the stairs, but she said she's okay, she already got up, she walked away. So we take a little look at this fight. Stalkers, Immortals, Carriers, and Void Rays. Good engagement actually by ThrivingGG. But it is obviously not enough He has lost a few too many banelings. He has lost a few too many infestors. Yeah, yes. He already told me he's alright, guys. Otherwise, obviously, I would run over. If I hear his scream and cry, I would have ran away. So he told me he's okay, but I will double check after the game. Bully GG. Or Bully versus ThrivingGG. I do think it's close to coming to an end here, as our Protoss is just rich. Out of the 3 games, I would say this was the most kind of straightforward game. Bully didn't do a whole lot with the oracles, but he just built a strong army, and ThrivingGG had great plans with burrowed infestors and tried to land a couple of neuroparasites, but it did not go his way. Bully was ready for it. He had observers. He shut that party down before it started. And Bully truly went full Rainer. He said, if I'm not welcome in this club, I'll bring this club down, baby. And that's basically what happened to ThrivingGG over here on Oceanborn. All the Corruptors are going to melt against the Stalkers and the Carriers as one Colossus dot gets surrounded. GG gets called. The American Protoss. Bully takes the 2-1 lead. I'll go ahead and take a very tiny break, guys, and I'll double check on my woman. She said she was okay, and that's why I stuck around. Obviously, otherwise, I would pause for a sec. I'll be right back, guys. Give me 1 sec. My stairs gotta be dangerous or something. I've actually never fell down or slid down these stairs, but it happened to Rainer like 3 times in the 1 month that he was here, and I think this is also the 3rd or 4th time that Vicky has a little slip up on the stairs. It's never happened to me, but I don't know. But he's okay, guys. I promise he's okay. Thank you today for gifting a subby to John Sim as well. Hello, John Shim. I actually stopped by your stream the other day. You will not believe that, but I was there. I was lurking in the shadows, mate. I saw you were live, and you were talking. I stopped by for a little bit, but it was late, and then I went to bed. Not your stream, Dave. I'm talking about John. Jean. I don't know. Probably do a terrible job pronouncing his name. He's the best. How can he be the best if you're the best, Dave? You know who's also the best? Bully, baby. Taking the 2-1 lead on his debut in the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts, but he's not there yet. Let's go ahead and hop into round 4.
Round 4. Fight!
Top left side of Golden Aura. We are looking at the main base of the man who had 2 very fun games, and in the 3rd game he said, you know what, Oceanborn, big map, I'm just gonna go ahead and sit back and build a big army, because I have the feeling my opponent's gonna attack me anyway, and he was not wrong. It worked out. 1 game away from winning $60. This is Bully, baby. Bulmyeolja, the Korean word for immortal, which I used to have on my soundboard, but no more. In the bottom right side of Golden Aura, we are looking at the main base of our Swedish Zerg. Was off to a really good start, taking the 1-0 lead. Now finds himself down 1-2. Tried to get a little fancy that previous game with all the burrowed infestors. Cool idea, but it did not work out. Needs to turn things around. ThrivingGG. Fell victim to a other American Protoss 2 weeks ago. That was Holden. Still got it, guys. As Holden was holding on to those kills, baby. And Holden took him down 3-0. ThrivingGG looked very good in the 1st game. Now in a bit of trouble. Still believe that he can potentially bring this home, but we need to try to be a little less fancy and a little more effective. When there is money on the line and you want to win, you know people are watching, it's not all about winning in the prettiest and coolest way possible, and it's just about getting the job done. Roddy True Friend lurking in our streams, what a champ. Not everybody's stream, but yeah, I just recognized the name, Jean Sim. I hope I'm doing a decent job in pronouncing your name, by the way. I'm sorry if I don't. But I recognize the name from Twitter. I know you've had a few hot takes over the years. So then I saw you streaming and I decided to stop by for a bit. But it was late and I didn't have a lot of time, so I didn't want to say hi. But I lurk. I pretty much browse the Starcraft 2 directory on Twitch every day. You know, I stop by many streams. Some of them I talk, some of them I'm quiet. Depends what kind of a mood I'm in. There's nothing wrong with being a lurker. A lot of you guys always lurk in my channel. Until there is a giveaway. And then you're like, here I am, Roddy. Yeah. What? You need a number between 1 and 7 billion? I have a chance? Then all of a sudden, you guys crawl out of the woodworks. So don't judge me for being a lurker. Does it tell you if the stream is subs to you? So you guys can sub to me while flexing your notification, but I believe there are also ways to not do it. I think only the very first time ever it will always show up. Because very often I'm live for 5 hours and I'm like, man, like nothing happened. But then I did actually gain some subs throughout the stream. And I guess people just don't make the notification pop and then it doesn't show up. First Adept is on the other side of the map. Fired a few times, but it does not get a drone. Well, necessarily the best start ever here for Bully. That's not the way we're supposed to lose our first Adept. Like, if Zergling speed is done, you can always lose at Adept. But without Zergling speed, I feel like we need to be a tiny bit more cautious. If we want to lose our Adepts, then it's always better to wait for 2. Because 2 Adepts can obviously shade into the natural, shade into the main, and one-shot a bunch of drones. Shout out to Air, by the way. Sorry, mate. I just saw it now. 4 buckies. Our top donator of 2023 is at it again. There's nothing wrong with my stairs. People just need to be patient. You know, you just need to chill. As long as you chill, you will not fall down my stairs. You didn't fall down my stairs, Air. Nope. What's the MMR minimum for the BBB? You would love some poultry action. I would not say that we really have a minimum. Like, for a while, I kind of thought that 5,000 MMR is as low as I'm willing to go. But then the Basilisk folks told me in one of the meetings where they're like, have fun with the first series. They're like, it doesn't have to be even 5k MMR. If you think of anything that is a good match, and you can think of 2 people that have a good reputation in the community, feel free to invite them. So, yeah, I know you fell down my stairs many times, Rainer. But that's also because you don't walk downstairs. Rainer does a bunny hop down the stairs where he's like, dook, 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 dook. Rainer is playing piano for the neighbors, you know? That kid cannot just walk down the stairs. And then obviously every 5th time he does that, it goes wrong. And then you hear, brrr. I'm like, you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm like, all right. This is how you do stairs as well. That's how I would maybe do some concrete stairs in a downtown city, you know, if nobody's watching. But I'm not sure about home stairs, where you have neighbors on the left, neighbors on the right. But yeah, Echo Soldier, if you want to play, mate, you know my Discord, you know the channel. You guys can always apply to play in the channel there. And I cannot promise that you get invited, but what I can promise is that you will be considered. And if a good match presents itself, everybody's got a chance. Void Ray and Oracle are going to battle a Queen of 3. That is honestly somewhat of a close fight for the Oracle, but in the end, Bully comes out on top, so kind of makes up for losing that first Adept. It is a little bit sad to see that he has not been able to kill any drones yet, but killing a Queen is always solid. Especially because ThrivingGG is not a Zerg who makes a crazy amount of Queens early on. He's got 4 Queens at the moment. Kind of feels that all 4 of them are right now trying to keep this hatchery alive. Feel like maybe one of them should be at least injecting, but he's gonna send them back and they will still be able to inject. I will take a look at it, Tommy. And yes, I'm absolutely allowed to have fun with it. I mean, I'm even allowed to have fun in the main event as long as there is a bit of a story there. We obviously cannot invite 2 random 4.7k players to be in the main event, but if we have like 2 casters or 2 streamers, you know, we had Ben and Pig. Like, what's their MMR? Kidding. It can always be fun, guys. The Big Brain Bouts is for the community. It is sort of done by the community, if you guys consider Basilisk to be the community as well. And it's all about just watching some fun Starcraft every single Friday night. And of course, we want some high-level games as well. We want some crazy good moves. But we've had plenty of those already, so doesn't hurt to think outside of the box and come up with some different series. Will there be a BBB Open at number 50? Well, we are getting a little bit close to that, but this is not the right time to start planning that stuff. Because, of course, upcoming Friday, 7 days from now, we can still do a regular Big Brain Bouts. But the Friday afterwards, we're all going to be in Poland. And, of course, all focus should be on IM Katowice. So that Friday, there won't be a BBB. And after that, we will see. It's kind of perfect. So the first Friday after Kato is going to be number 50. And if we do something special, you guys will hear all about it. Roddy versus Demo. Don't worry, guys. I think Ben recently got a new mouse again, so he's probably not ready. You guys know how he is and those new mice. I don't think it's gonna happen. Loco versus someone. I did invite Loco once, and I tried, but Loco is a man of schedules, and it just didn't really work out. But I think we can make that happen once. Loco would be down to play. He's pretty nice in that regard. Just didn't work out yet. But there's a good chance we can get Loco to play some games. Day 9 is probably not going to happen now. I have a good relationship with Sean, but I think if I would ask him that, he's going to leave me on red. I'm going to see that double check mark and no response. He did tweet out recently that he is planning on doing some Starcraft 2 stuff, right? And maybe if he is doing a couple of streams here and there, then we could ask him. But like right now, it would be a little bit random, as that is so many dead probes. Oh, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Honestly, kudos to these guys for almost making it out and not making it out. Somehow these two now survived. I'm impressed that there were any survivors there at all, because we were just stuck and it was so many banelings. So Bully loses a blackjack amount of banes, of probes rather, to those banelings. But it's okay. Other than that, not too much has happened yet. The guys really kind of slowed down, eh? In the first 2 games we were fist fighting in a phone booth. The gloves were off. Game 3 and Game 4, it's a little more about sitting back and trying to secure the W and just macroing to the best of their abilities. I'm Canning versus Loco. You would not be good at my job if you think that's a good match to make, mate. Come on. It's not that hard to be a good matchmaker, but that is not a great match, mate. Name-wise, it's awesome. Game-wise, that would not be very awesome. I'm Canning actually was streaming this morning, mate. And yesterday morning as well. He raided us yesterday. He has slowed down a little bit on the streaming. But he's still active from time to time. Neep versus Snoot. Neep would destroy Snoot at the moment, mate. Neep was still very good not too long ago. And Snoot has not played in years, so no. Alex would still be incredibly good. I think right now if you give a computer to Neep and you make him play 20 games, he's still going to be world class. For Snoot, it's going to take a whole lot longer. I think it's also a bit harder for a Zerg who hasn't played for a while than it is for a Protoss. Not saying that the Protoss race is easier or anything, but it's just Neep was way better, way more recently. And I think things have not changed that much for TOS, but things often change a lot for Zerg. Yeah. Neep would still be goated. Bully is gonna get the Robo Bay and the second Robo, as we have the double Forge, and one of them is working on plasma shields, the other one is going for armor. ThrivingGG has just kind of sacrificed his base in the bottom side of the map. He looked at that army and says, don't really want to run into it. We're just gonna make sure that this game goes on for a little while longer. Kind of rushed into the Broodlords that gave him the victory on Hecate. And Brood's obviously very good against the current army that Bully has, but there are 4D Stalkers, guys. On Hecate, the Broodlord shined like no tomorrow, because it was mostly about Immortals and couple Archons. Then Bully warped in a few Stalkers here and there, but right now we've got 4D Stalkers. We've got Storm as well. Honestly, I don't know if this Zerg army is going to be good enough. Overall, this kind of feels like a glass cannon type of army with like the Banelings and the Brutes. Everything is just a little bit fragile. The man who is down 1-2 in the opening bout of the night is going to try to make some magic happen. Now we've got a Ling run by the top. A Bully sees it, blinks forward. He's going to get pretty much all of these Lings, as burrowing does not make any sense with 2 observers on top of all of these Lings and a Revelation. Double detection, baby. But the base at 9 o'clock does fall. So ThrivingGG gets something, as we have Banelings rolling into the triangle again. 18 probes are falling again. That's 39 in total. I would love to see Bully chase down this army. Like, I would not be no, what? Okay. And like, the Observer is going to reveal it. Here we go. We got a Void Ray in the mix as well. The Void Ray can use prismatic alignment. We're going to get a couple of storms. The Blinding Clouds are nice, but I still think the Protoss should continue to chase this army. Because I like Bully's army a whole lot more. The man who's up 2-1 in this best of 5 will blink forward. And the Blinding Cloud is going to scare him a little. Bully is kind of afraid of the dark, isn't he, guys? The moment that the lights go off, he's like, oh no, I'm gonna run. But in the end, he does find these Brood Lords. He is gonna blink forward again, and the Stalkers and the Void Race will make short work of those Broods. And the rest of the Zerg army, it's just not that intimidating. It's a little bit of everything. A couple of Lings, a couple of Roaches, a couple of Corruptors, a Viper or two in the mix, but it just kind of feels that the American macro machine that is Bully is gonna get the job done against a Zerg player who is ranked higher than him. But Bully, I think, has done a very good job in realizing what he needs to do in this series. The way that his opponent is playing. And he just kind of needs to take his time. I have accidentally clicked on my DPI, guys. Oh my goodness. I think it's good now. When you look at this army, you just know that it's incredibly difficult to run into this army. But if your opponent wants to keep on running into it, obviously you're going to be fine. We have a couple of Zealots getting on top of the Spines. Spines buying some time, but eventually those Spines will fall. How many Broodlords do we have now? 7, but there are still 4 Void Rays in the mix. And if we don't have a good answer for 4 Void Rays with prismatic alignment, the Voids will slap. Now the Corrosive Balls do connect, and 3 Void Rays actually die very quickly. Great fight here by ThrivingGG. Legitimately doing as good as he possibly could, as a few more big storms do land on all the Roaches and the Ravagers. What a fight. What a fight. In the end, most of the Immortals have died. Most of the High Templars have died. Stalkers run into the main, but there are Flank Crawlers there too. Bully wants that Viper and he's gonna recall out, I assume. Please tell me you're gonna recall out, mate. It really does not hurt. Oh, Bully just wants to snipe some drones. Okay. Kinda thought we were just gonna chase that. Okay, he just wants to kill as many workers as possible. I mean, that is a play. Thought maybe after sniping the Viper over here, you blink into a corner and you save whatever you can save. That is okay. He has already rebuilt a new army. A couple Zealots, couple Stalkers, and 4 more Void Rays. They do not have Flux Veins. But I guess it doesn't really matter because they're still going to be quicker than Broodlords. Ravagers and Lings and 43 drones on the side of ThrivingGG. I think we need to just try to resaturate our bases. Maybe retake this one indeed. I don't think that it's really worth... actually, there is enough left here in this base. Like 700, 1400, 2100. It's a little over 3,500 resources left, so it is probably worth to get a hatchery there. But I indeed would prioritize this one and obviously this one too. What a throw. I don't think you can say that this is a throw. I don't think that Bully has lost the game yet. First of all, for it to be a throw, he must be losing. Now, if we're gonna deal with Zergling run-bys like this, then he is kind of throwing, but... I just think it was a good fight by ThrivingGG, mate. Maybe Bully got a tiny bit impatient, right? And he kind of walked himself into a trap into the middle of all these Zerg bases, but... Instead of saying, throw this, throw that, I think it was just a good fight by ThrivingGG. Good job with the Queens, good job with the Ravagers and the Corrosive Balls connecting with a couple of these Voids, but I think our Zerg is still in trouble, because whenever games get scrappy and it comes down to low economies, the Protoss units should shine a little bit more than the Zerg units do. Yeah, if the entire army would have gone for the Hive, then he would have killed it, but not sure if just a couple of Stalkers could have killed it. It's okay, guys. He probably got a little bit nervous, right? He finds himself deep on creep. Don't forget that these guys have now already been playing this video game for over an hour. They know a lot of people are watching. They know that I might be judging them. There is money on the line. They're going to be a bit nervous. They'll make a few mistakes. We are not looking at professional gamers here. These guys are good in Starcraft, but obviously they don't have opportunities like this every single week. So go easy on them. We're gonna see a few things that they have to decide in the heat of the moment that may not necessarily be right. It's almost like they're human and nerves are a thing. But I still think that this should be a Protoss victory. But it obviously does come down to the next big fight. Like, Bully cannot take another fight like the one that he took over here. But off creep, I don't really ever see that happen. We have 7 Voids. There are 9 Corruptors. We also have 4 Infestors. Those Infestors could land Fungo. The Voids are going to lead the charge. Are we going to get a couple of Storms then? Not yet, but what we will have is Prismatic Alignment activated on the vast majority of these Void Rays. Corruptor count is just not high enough to really get in range of these Voids and one-shot them, so ThrivingGG is forced to run all the way back. He's going to lose a couple of Brood Lords, will lose the hatchery as well on the top right side. Does not cancel it. And what have we got over here? Bully. Some long distance mining, baby. That's when you know that he's an avid watcher of the Roddy stream. It's always worth to do a little bit of long distance mining. +3 melee with Adrenal Glands. These Lings obviously can get some great fights. Oh no, the High Templars do kind of get found, but Bully saves them. Whew, that's a big save. Because if all of those boys would have been surrounded, even if you then drop Storms to kill the Lings, you're going to kill your own High Templars as well. That could have been painful. And these Lings are very powerful. The Corruptors are going to show up as well. They're going to think of using Caustic Spray, but the Void Rays are here, so ThrivingGG needs to stop with that. The Ravagers are going to try to buy some time. He does not want to stop with it. No, he's going to stop with it in the end, but not before he loses like 4 Corruptors. Kills 7 additional workers, but does not get the Nexus. And now the Brood Lords, I feel like we've been here before, will get chased down by these Stalkers as they get a couple of volleys off, and they're going to push the Berserker army all the way back. The Fungal does land, but you need so many Fungals to kill Void Rays in this day and age. Bully is getting a little bit scared though, as he sees a lot of Zerg, he sees Fungals landing, but I still think the Protoss army should be better, especially if the Void Rays can just take care of these Broodlords. And the moment that a Swedish Zerg, ThrivingGG, is forced to retreat, that's obviously where Bully knows that he's got him right where he wants him. I think if he keeps going right now, he's gonna get a dub. The American Protoss community hero, the Bulmyeolja, aka Immortal in Korean, aka our boy Bully from Minnesota or North Dakota or South Dakota. Nobody really knows besides Bully, but that doesn't matter. He is gonna get the dub here. I think that much is certain at this point. Fun series, especially the first 2 games. I love the first 2 games the most. It almost felt that in Game 3 and Game 4, you know, they started changing it up a little bit. ThrivingGG will be kicking himself, I think, a tiny bit for all those burrowed infestors on Oceanborn, because I don't think that was really needed. Getting a little bit too fancy for his own good. In the end, this best of 5 will go to our boy Bully. You guys may have seen him if you were at the ESL Winter Championships in Atlanta recently, as he was there, having a good time, hanging out with all the nerds, vibing, and just enjoying the beautiful game and the beautiful scene that Starcraft 2 is and has to offer. We've been here before, but this time around there is no longer a terrifying Zerg army. Now it's just all Protoss, baby. Bully with a 3-1 victory. He walks away with 60, not Benjamins, but American dollars. And ThrivingGG will still get $15 for playing in the first series of the night. I'm going to go ahead and swap over to the European server very quickly, because we are a bit behind schedule. I'm not worried about that tonight, guys, because we obviously have a PvP main event, and we have a bunch of aggressive players coming up. Let's see if we can find Heaven and Musti. Heaven is here. And Musti is not here yet. Thanks so much to Basilisk for giving us 10 subbies. I'm going to go ahead and settle that prediction. We need Musti. Is he here? I hope he's here. Musti. He's also the only one who did not respond earlier. He has confirmed. Has Horstem played? No. Horstem is the last player of the night. The first series is always a bit of a warm-up series, and then throughout the night, the level gets higher and better. And obviously, Horstem and Australia are 2 of the very best players on this planet, so they will be playing in the final series of the evening. The Bulmyeolja, the American Protoss, brings it home, baby. 52% of you guys believed in him, and he made y'all proud. Second series of the night is Musti, a German-Turkish Terran player, versus not Holden, but Heaven, baby. Best of 5 TVP. I'm sure that Gabriel will be watching this. I know that the Germans have a little Discord where they all support each other. And Musti is a bit of a legend in the Discord. I'll give you guys 15 minutes. I think this is going to be a very fun series. I believe that these guys have played against each other once, a long time ago. It does not show up on the league, but I think it was a 3-2 victory for Musti. Let's see what happens today. Couple minutes after that, I'll be back. Second best of 5 of the night is coming up in the back. BASILISK Big Brain Bouts number 48.